Previously on Horrible Film Recaps.
Freeze! NYPD, freeze! Freeze me! Stop! NYPD means I will knock your punk ass down. What's up? Hey, watch that ledge. Watch the ledge. Look, all right, wait a minute. Let me talk to you.
Crypto. Home. Take me home.
Daughter.
Jumanji.
What'd you do? No. Bruce. No.
He did it. And now, on to our feature presentation. The title of this movie is Captain America, the First Avenger, which is odd, as there was already a live-action Avengers show, as well as a movie starring Uma Thurman. It's not even the first Captain America live-action movie, as there was the 1979 classic starring Reb Brown, and additionally, there was a 1990 version starring Matt Salinger where he portrayed Cap as a habitual carjacker. Movies are weird. Also, Ronnie Cox was in it for some reason. Our movie opens with Agent Carter driving through the streets on her way to look for recruits in Boys Town, which is just 3 blocks east of Crazy Town. She passes over the obvious ragamuffins and gutter snipes, then stops the car to investigate the random beating of some little wiener kid. After pausing for a moment to enjoy the savagery, she offers the lad a lift to the nearest practitioner of adolescent quackery. The faux doctor subjects him to various wet willies and purple nurples. Then the army shows up to escort the kid to the woodshed, where he's instructed in the finer points of overbearing pugilism. As a reward for not fainting, he's taken to see an educational film.
Welcome to this instructional presentation on the avoiding of cravenness. The first step is to just not. Don't do this. Don't think about this. Just do everything in your power to avoid doing anything that might encourage more of this. For God's sake, do not meme about this. Do you want another Morbius, or worse yet, a sequel to Madam Web? Whoever is responsible for this, go home and think over what you've done. Until next time, ciao, you schoolyard scallywags and boisterous booballas.
When Dr. Scientist reads the lad's essay on the benefits of simonizing your Ovaltine, he approves the boy's request to join the ranks of the Army's questionable medicine division. Meanwhile, Corporal Eczema confronts the old guy from Hot Fuzz about his hoarding of perpetuity rocks. This causes Eczema to tear off his itchy face in infantile frustration as he demands the foreverness pebble. Make with the eternity bauble, he angrily insists. Now, with the boundlessness trinket firmly in hand, Corporal Eczema quails before the universe's screensaver, then is whooshed away in a cacophony of whooshiness. Flying through the cosmos faster than boiled cabbage can stink up an entire flat, the corporal thinks back to the conversations he had with his therapist.
My biggest fear is being abandoned on a deserted world and left to float as an immortal spirit for all eternity.
That's an oddly specific fear, but I'm sure it won't happen.
Back in the city that never takes a break, the youngster introduces himself as Steve. Agent Carter tells him they prefer to not name their specimens until after the experimentation is complete. Dr. Scientist explains that his formula comes in a variety of flavors that can change Steve into a non-boo-boo scaredy pants. The first test involves the birthday cake formula, but just makes Steve look like a monkey and smell like one too. After his genome is reset, test 2 involves dark chocolate and spinach flavor, now available from Lizard Squishins. The results are promising, but it's decided that he's the wrong shade of green, so they try once more. This time they just say, screw it, and pump every flavor into Steve until he's rendered more syrup than man. After being placed in the man-sized military-grade easy bake oven, the staff turns the bulb up to its highest setting, cause wiener kids plumps when you cook them. Now that he's to proper size, and miraculously devoid of grill marks, the science nerds prepare to celebrate. However, unpowered Clark Kent grows insane with jealousy and shoots at Steve, hitting Dr. Scientist by mistake. Steve rushes to aid the wounded sore bones, but to no avail. As his life slips from him, Dr. Scientist wheezes.
Here, the bullet should have hit you right here and not me. Thanks for nothing, kid.
This causes Steve to chase down the ruthless reporter, despite his complete lack of footwear. After stepping on a World War II-era Lego, he decides to catch a cab instead. This causes the cabbie to panic, and an over-the-top collision occurs. This angers the crowd, since Uber won't be invented for several decades, and so they begin to give criticism in a most American fashion.
Which way to go?
I don't know, but he went that way.
Let's go.
Dum-dums.
Come on.
Yeah.
While fleeing the vicious crowd, Steve notices the nabby newsman has taken a hostage. When Steve catches up, a strange conversation begins.
Stop. That's kidnapping, and the kid needs his sleep.
It's not kidnapping if he doesn't have a soul.
That's just a harmful stereotype. Ginger kids have souls just like anyone else.
Give him away. He's got a soul. He's got a soul.
Hey kid, you okay? I told him that you had a soul. Haha.
I'm sure to find one in the briny depths, or I'll just eat a shoe. Goodbye.
Mr. Kent attempts to escape back into the Burton-verse, but the plot holes quickly become a problem. Steve does his best to save him, but the Daily Planeteer just raves about the Snyder Cut or something. Back at the motor pool, the old guys want to ride in Batman's ski boat, but Howard points out that it's a fictional vehicle and can't be repaired by conventional means, since those don't exist. In other words, they just don't make them like they never did in the first place anymore. The next morning, Steve decides to find a way to end World War II. Agent Carter suggests they take a plane up into the sky to look for hidden bases since they can't find any on the ground. Steve doesn't see any enemy fortresses in the sky, however, just explosions, and decides to look on the ground once again. Back on the ground, Steve hops a train to see if it's headed towards any hidden bases. There's no troop shelters on board, however he does run across the Captain Britain auditions.
God save the Queen.
Right.
Oh, blimey.
I can do this all day, I can.
But, unfortunately, he couldn't.
Okay, time to leave.
Soon Steve finds himself on a hidden enemy base, using his brightly coloured shield as camouflage to blend into the inky night. Once inside, he quickly finds the map with the pins that mark the enemy enclaves, which he absconds with forthwith. With the coordinates in hand, he quickly reveals his victory ruse by simply removing the enemy flags and pins from the map. The bases quickly fall to ruin, as they're no longer represented. This leads to what every general longs for, an empty map. V-Day is quickly announced, and Steve is given various medals and offered parts in big-budget action flicks. But he finds himself empty, as despite the fame, he longs to return to the life of a simple performing lab monkey. And so Agent Carter offers him his dream assignment, an army chorus girl. This concludes the movie recap. I wonder how Steve fared as a chorus girl. I wonder?
I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die. A real live nephew of my Uncle Sam's, born on the 4th of July. Good boy, kid, I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart. She's my Yankee Doodle joy. Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the ponies. I am the Yankee Doodle boy. Father's name was Hezekiah, mother's name was Anne Mariah. Yanks